Hi, friends. It's me, Christiana Gaudet. It is time for our monthly Global Tarot Circle. We meet here on Facebook Live on my business page once every month, and it's a time for tarot friends from around the world to get together to share some readings and to talk a little bit about tarot technique and to share tarot information. If you happen to be watching in archive on Facebook or YouTube, I'm very grateful for you to be here as well. We will do readings for the first half of our time together. We're here for an hour. And in the second half, we will do an informal workshop. Today is April Fool's Day, so we're going to be talking about the Fool. We are also going to be talking about, that dreaded taboo subject, how we see health issues in tarot and how we handle that. And that's incredibly important right now because of the coronavirus. I'm going to be very interested in finding out how my fellow tarotists have seen this crisis emerge in their cards, reading for themselves, reading for others, and how it's showing up now. So we're going to have a very interesting conversation. So if you are watching an archive, you may find the readings very interesting, and I think you'll find the second half very interesting. People are now starting to come into the room, and I'm very grateful to have you all here. David, glad you're here. Brenda Elizabeth, nice to see you. Donna from Southern California, glad you're here. Julie, coming to us live for the first time from the new house. We want pictures. And congratulations on the new house. I'm glad you've made your move. So David, Brenda, and Julie are actually people who, back in the old days when we could meet in person, would come to our tarot circle at Panera Bread in Palm City. Carol is here, and she's also a regular attendee there. And I am looking forward to the time when we can meet in person there again. Of course, these Global Tarot Circle meetings have been going on long before coronavirus and will continue long after. Now, we are having on YouTube Live, we are having our substitute for Panera Bread, Cards and Conversation on YouTube Live. We'll be having that this Sunday, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on my YouTube channel. That's Christiana Gaudet on YouTube. So I hope to see you there. So let's see. We've got TK, glad to see you. He's also one of our local crew. Marion, good to see you, coming all the way from Scotland. Jean Mnuchin, glad to see you. Jill Watson, nice to see you, also from our local crew. Steve Homesack from Allentown in Pennsylvania. Carol, Puck, nice to see you from Finger Lakes, New York. And we've got Dawn from Cookeville, Tennessee. Deirdre Martin, she's my friend from Connecticut. Mark Saylor here from New Jersey. Nilsa, glad you're here from Connecticut. Irene, nice to see you. I'm not sure where you're from. Marilyn is here from Australia. Miguelina from South Florida. And Nilsa is first in line with her question. She's been here before and she knows how this works. Okay, for those of you who, unlike Nilsa, Neil Quattrano from Connecticut, so nice to see you here. So for those of you who don't know how this works, this is what happens. For the first half hour, we do readings. Suzanne Averman, nice to see you. So we're going to do some readings. And here's how it goes. If you have a question, Irene, where are you from? Minnesota. So nice to see you. Nicola is here from New Zealand. So if you have a question, you put the question in the comments. We will get to as many people as we can. And we'll be doing readings, as I said, up until about 7:30. What's going to happen is I will pull one card. Suzanne's here from Denver. See, we really are a global tarot circle. We are from all over the world. Are we shuffling? Jill wants to know. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So here's how it works. I will pull a card in answer to the question. If you have your cards with you and you would like to read for that person, you're going to put their first name, the name of the card you got. And I did it for you, Deirdre. Okay. You're going to give their first name, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. And so if I read for you, then you know the next thing you have to do is read through the comments to get the rest of your reading. And that's how that works. So if you are a tarot reader, now is a great time to do some practice. If you're a newer reader, you're going to find we move pretty quickly. And, the truth is, I can speak more quickly than you can type. So, you might do every other one. That's okay. You might just do the ones that you really feel called to want to speak to. However you want to do it. And if you're not a reader, if you're just here to be part of the community and get a reading, that's okay too. We welcome you. So, as Jill said, flip, flip, flip. Let's start shuffling. I'm going to scroll to the top of the line and let's get going. Okay. Lots of good people here. I'm so grateful to all of you for being here and being part of this group. So we're going to start with Nilsa. What does the universe want Nilsa to know? And this is it's a great study in general readings. A lot of tarotists really cringe around having to do general readings. But a general reading is simply an answer to the question, what does the universe want me to know? And so we'll start with that. If you would like to read for Nilsa, just put her name, Nilsa, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. And of course, after I read, Nilsa will scroll through and read the rest of the readings and interact with you as well. Okay. Okay, so Nilsa, I think there's a reading for you from David Victor. It doesn't have your name on it, but it's for you. So you can check that out. And let's see what I get for Nilsa. What does the universe want Nilsa to know? The Hermit. So the Hermit is a great card for all of us right now in isolation, seclusion, safe at home, quarantine, lockdown, whatever you want to call it. The Hermit is a good card for all of us. But the thing is, Nilsa's a nurse. So I don't think Nilsa gets to shelter at home. The Hermit for you, Nilsa, in this case, may speak to a couple of things. We see that the Hermit shines his light of wisdom for all to see. And this could be speaking of you being there to help others. But there could also be ways in your life that you are feeling lonely right now. Outside of work, I'm sure you, as the rest of us, are sort of cut off from people. And it may even be that some of the people in your life who you like to see as supportive people are not always as supportive as you would like. I would also say that another key word for the Hermit is patience. And so there may be a need for you to be patient. Okay. So let's see who's next. Okay. So Neil is next, and he wants to know about his daughter, Julia. Okay, so when we do this, and for Global Tarot Circle, it is good to have a question. If you're not sure what your question is, you can always ask, what does the universe want me to know? Okay. So, in this case, for Neil, the question is about Julia, and it's another teachable moment for us. So, Nilsa said the Hermit makes perfect sense. Okay, very good. So, we're about to embark in the murky waters of the third-party reading. A third-party reading is when you read for someone who hasn't asked for a reading and isn't present. Now, I believe, and some readers say, you can't do it, you shouldn't do it, it's not a good idea to do it, whatever. If you can't talk to me about the people in my life, then you can't talk to me about me, because the people in my life are so very important. And I feel like in this case, this is about the health and healing and well-being of someone. So when a father is asking about his daughter, the unspoken question is, how's she doing? How can I help? What can we see that would be helpful? Obviously, he's asking in concern. So if you feel comfortable doing this reading, you're going to put his name, Neil. You're going to put the name of the card you pulled and your interpretation. What can you tell Neil about his daughter, Julia? How can he help? What's going on? What does he need to know? And the card that I got is the Nine of Swords reversed. So I feel like depression is an issue here. Julia herself may be dealing with depression. You may be having some depression regarding her circumstances. Now, in this case, the fact that it's reversed, in my mind, makes me feel like she doesn't really want to see what's going on with herself. She doesn't really want to admit. She's resisting admitting what the real deal is. And frankly, I think until she can see the truth, it's going to be very hard to help her. All you can do is try to keep her safe until she's ready to keep herself safe. And, please read through and see what other people have to say here. Okay. Suzanne, what does the universe want me to know? Okay, if you would like to read for Suzanne, go ahead and put her name, the name of the card that you got, and your interpretation. What does the universe want Suzanne to know? Knight of Wands reversed. So, in a time of quarantine, I think reverse knights could very often just speak about, you ain't going nowhere. That's like a Bob Dylan song too, right? You ain't going nowhere. You know that song? I know that song. So the question is, if you're not going anywhere, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? How can you... And Tammy Quattrano is here as well. She's Julia's mother. So, Tammy, you might want to scroll through and take a look at some of the things that's going on there. So we have Knight of Wands reversed for Suzanne. And I feel like you may not be feeling as connected right now to your creativity, to your spirituality. You may be sort of having a hard time getting things done or feeling motivated. And you know what I wonder? I think this is a particularly hard time for empaths. And most of us here in this room probably are. We're psychics, we're empaths, we're all of those things, right? And so what is it? We have never been in this situation where every single member of the human family all across the globe is worried about every single person. We are in a situation right now where something bad could happen to every single person we know or we ourselves. And while I don't think that we're really thinking about that all the time or tripping out on it, there is so much suffering going on. There is suffering of illness and fear of illness and death. And then there's financial suffering. And then there's the suffering of canceled weddings, of, canceled graduations, all kinds of things going on. And so I wonder, Suzanne, if even on an unconscious level, you may be feeling some of that suffering. And we all may be having that. We may all be dealing with that. Okay, let's talk to Leisha. If you would like to read for Leisha, go ahead and put his name. It's Leisha, Leisha. My question is, I was told of a possible new section I was to run. This is a job question. Is that something that's going to happen at work? So, is Leisha likely to get this? This sounds like a promotion, to be able to run this new section. What do we see for that? Maybe there's some advice around that. Maybe we see it happening. Maybe we see a timeline on that. What do you think? If you'd like to read for him, go ahead and put his name, put the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Leisha, 9 of Wands. So here's what I think. I think it will happen. I think it's going to take time, and I think it's not going to be easy. That's what I have to say. Let's see what other people have to say. Okay, off to Julie we go. Julie, in her new home, wants to know, what do I most need to know about the new house? And she's in a new house with her 2 children, and I think there's a dog in that picture too, I think. And this is after living in the same house for a really long time. So this is a big deal. It's a big move. Okay, and I see a lot of great interaction going on in the comments, people doing readings, people enjoying their readings and thanking people. This is what we're really here for. I often say that the real wisdom going on here isn't coming from me. It's hanging out in those comments. So make sure you read the comments and participate there. Okay, Julie, what do you most need to know about your new house? The 10 of Swords reversed ain't nothing easy, but it's getting better. When I see the 10 of Swords reversed, what I really see is this has been a long time coming. And it's not just been the search for the house or the buying of the house or the moving during a freaking pandemic. Getting your kids settled in a new place, the whole thing. It's weird. It's strange. Everything right now is strange. But this has been a long time coming for a long time, because although you were comfortable in the house that you were in, it was not a great situation. And so I feel like you're still just breathing, breathing deeply at the end of the race and not yet sunk in and really feeling at home and feeling comfortable yet. Be patient. It will happen. Okay, TK. If you'd like to read for TK, go ahead and put his name. It's a T and a K, TK. Is TK's job safe for the next 3 months? Let's take a look. And remember to put the name of the person, the card that you pulled, and your interpretation. Okay, TK, is your job safe? Strength reversed. Well, there's safe and then there's easy. It's not going to be easy. And with strength reversed, I'm going to say, there's probably no guarantees here. It's probably okay. Let's see what other people have to say. I would have much preferred to see this right side up. And let's do a little magic and turn it right side up to welcome the idea that maybe it could be safe and it could be easy. Okay, let's go now to Marion. If you would like to read for Marion, go ahead and put her name, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. The question is, what does the universe want Marion to know? The chariot. You'll be able to travel again soon. This is good. You'll have a job soon. This is good. You're moving forward in accordance with your own plans and desires. You are moving toward a place of mastery. This is all good, my friend. Everything is going to move in the right direction for you. And the thing about the chariot is it's not one thing or another. It's many things together moving forward. So you're doing a lot to move yourself forward in many regards. And it's all good, my friend. Okay, let's see. Nicola says, we're in lockdown here in New Zealand. How will my life evolve coming out of lockdown? Okay, if you'd like to read for Nicola, go ahead and put her name, Nicola, Nicola, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. When this is all over and Nicola in New Zealand can go back to her normal life, what is that life going to look like? Ace of Cups. It's a whole new world and it's good. It's good. This is a time of healing for you and you come out of it. Healed, ready to go, ready for a new beginning. This could be about better relationships. This could be about new relationships, new opportunities, and your own personal healing. So there's a lot here that says take this time in lockdown for your healing. Okay. And just to say hi to a couple of people who came in. Annie, nice to see you. Kimberly, glad to see you. Okay, now we're moving on to Dawn. Oh, and Marianne, nice to see you. Now we're moving on to Dawn. What does Spirit want me to know? So another way of saying, what does the universe want me to know? Let's take a look and see if you'd like to read for Dawn. Go ahead and put her name, Dawn, the name of the cards you get, and your interpretation. And again, there's so many good readings going on here in the comments. Okay, so for Dawn, the Knight of Cups reversed. So this is an interesting thing. It could speak to a particular person in your life that you're having a hard time connecting with or feeling connected with. It could also speak to you yourself feeling a little lost, not knowing what direction in which to go. This is really a time to look at how you're communicating. Whether this is regarding one particular person or people in general. Are you speaking your heart? Are there things you want to say but shouldn't say? Are there things you want to say, are afraid to say but should say? The thing is, it's got to come from your heart. Okay, lots of good readings going on here. Hey, Robin, nice to see you. And Miguelina, nice to see you. Okay, here we go. Question from Jill. Hey, Nancy Perez, glad you're here. Yes, we do readings for the first half hour. And so we have another, technically 8 minutes, but we'll probably go another 10 minutes. Go ahead and ask your question. We will get to you if we can. And in the meanwhile, if you have cards and you want to get shuffled and jump in and help with doing some readings for others, you absolutely can. If you just want to watch and enjoy and read what people are doing, you can do that too. So glad you are here. And in the second half, we do sort of an informal tarot workshop conversation, that kind of thing. So again, glad you're here. Okay, Jill. My son is interviewing over the phone for a job. They can't meet in person, obviously, but want to fill the job ASAP. Sounds like his dream job. Will he get it? Let's take a look. Again, a third-party reading, but again, asked with love. This is not talking bad about someone behind their back. This is not wishing for someone's failure. This is not the kind of third-party reading that I think we would have a moral issue with. This is a mother concerned for her son's career. So let's take a look. If you would like to read for Jill, go ahead and put her name. And again, there are folks who are scrolling ahead of me. And so if you've asked a question, go through the scroll because you may be getting answers even before I get there. So, definitely look and see what people are doing for you. Get your reading and make sure you thank them. Okay. So Jill, if you want to read for Jill, go ahead and put her name, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. What do we think about the son getting this job? So this is the second time, and I shuffled. This is the second time I got the Knight of Wands reversed. He's a candidate, but he may need to do something to turn this right side up. I feel like he may be a little uncomfortable with the phone interview, and he may want to do a little homework about the company, about the job, in order to really impress people. He is a good candidate, but there are other good candidates too. Okay, let's see what other people have to say there. Okay. Okay, Tammy, ask a question. Okay, same with Marianne. For this, we really want a question. If you're not sure what your question is, you can always say, what does the universe want me to know? But we're definitely looking for questions. So go ahead and type in your questions, and we will do our best to get to you. For Miguelina, for business reasons, should I splurge, treat myself a little bit now or later? Okay, if you'd like to read for Miguelina, go ahead and put her name. That's Miguel with an I-N-A at the end. Miguelina. Go ahead and put the card that you got and your interpretation. Should she splurge, treat herself a little bit? Should she do it now? Should she do it later? Oh, this Knight of Wands, man, you saw me shuffle. I have been shuffling, but this time it comes up right side up. Yes, you should, and do it now. Okay. Hey, Cheryl, nice to see you. Barbara Money, good to see you. Okay, Marianne Yurt, what does the universe want Marianne to know? If you would like to read for Marianne, go ahead and pull a card, put her name, Marianne. Put the name of the card you got and your interpretation. We're coming to the end of our readings, but we're going to try to get to everyone who has asked, even if it takes a few extra minutes. Thank you all so much for being here and being part of our Global Tarot Circle. Okay. So, what does the universe want Marianne to know? Goodness gracious, I shuffled. I promise I shuffled well. The Knight of Wands, this time upright. This is like our theme card for the group today. So I realize you can't take a trip right now, but you might want to plan a trip for the future. And there might be some creative or spiritual things you need to be pursuing. Okay. Okay, Kimberly Essex, here's a question. Would like some advice on a friend who had all but disappeared from my life and recently returned like nothing happened. I asked for a couple of weeks before meeting up and then the lockdown happened. What approach should I take with reconnecting? Very good question. If you'd like to read for Kimberly, go ahead and put her name, Kimberly, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. What should she do here? 5 of Pentacles reversed. It probably is good to take the opportunity to reconnect when you're ready. If you want to say, obviously we can't reconnect in person, so let's do it online, you absolutely can do that. But there probably is value, one way or the other, in nurturing a reconnection. Okay. Hey, Aaron, nice to see you. Okay. Lots of readings going on here. Very good. Okay, for Trisha, and I know some other people have been reading for Trisha as well, so make sure, Trisha, you look up and down on the feed to get your reading. Trisha wants to know, what can I do to turn my sadness around? Okay, and if you haven't already read for Trisha and would like to, go ahead and put her name, Trisha. It's Trisha Knit Faster. Maybe you should knit faster, sorry. The name of the card you got and your interpretation. What can she do? The Page of Pentacles reversed. I want to say the sadness is kind of normal right now and kind of okay. And knitting might not help, quite honestly. That it may be really that what you need to do is just sit with it and be okay with it for a minute. Acknowledge it, let it be, think about it, and then I think it will go away. Okay. Let's see, lots of great readings going on here. I'm going to try to get to as many people as I can. Aaron, how do I deal with my dad being around more now that he's retired? Okay, if you'd like to read for Erin, go ahead and put her name, Erin, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Page of Swords reversed. Avoid him. I'm sorry, that sounds horrible. But, and I mean no disrespect when I say it, but he doesn't really understand you, and you have to forgive him for not understanding you, and you have to be who you are, and don't take that personally and appreciate him for who he is, but give him his space and take your own space. Hey, Naomi, nice to see you. Okay, scrolling through. Hey, Betty, nice to see you. Okay, looking for some final questions here. For Betty, what does the universe want Betty to know? If you would like to read for Betty, go ahead and put her name, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. What does the universe want Betty to know? 7 of Cups reversed. Do not give in to dark imagining. You have limited choices. It's okay. But don't let that take you down the twisted garden path of darkness. Okay. Barbara O'Brien, nice to see you. Lots of great readings going on here. We are coming to the end of our readings. I'm just scrolling down and trying to pick up any last travelers. Okay, so here we go. This is for Vicky. Vicky likes someone. I don't know how things are going to work. I'm so confused and would like to know about that. Like, what should I do? This makes me confused about the approach toward my life. Okay, so Vicky wants to know what to do about these feelings for this particular person. If you would like to read for Vicky, the name Vikki. What do you see? What do you think? Go ahead and put the name, Vicky, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. The 3 of Wands reversed, Vicky. You know, there's a lot of feelings going on here, and you have to honor the feelings and see what that says about you. But this may not go forward, and it's okay if it doesn't. You know, sometimes we have feelings, and the feelings are about the feelings themselves, not about an actual relationship. So be open. Okay. Okay, so now we're coming in, and we're coming to the end of our readings. We'll do a few more minutes. We've got Srikanth. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. Srikanth. If you'd like to read for Srikanth, go ahead and put the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. I've been liking someone for some time, and things have been on and off. I also believe we have past life connections, as in I feel like I already know her and like we share a very special bond. At the moment, we don't talk anymore, and I'd like to know if she'll ever talk to me again. I know she's confused about the relationship, and I wish to know what the universe wants me to know about this. Will we be together forever? Well, you're not even together now. And you know, the thing is, when we talk about those past life connections, just because you have a past life connection with someone or a soul connection with someone does not mean that you should or will be together in this life. And I'm saying that not just to you, but to everyone, because we've all had that experience, and it's powerful and it's painful, but it's important not to misinterpret it. Now, in this particular situation, judgment reversed. You will talk again. I don't know that there is any particular long-term plan for a relationship, but you at least will be able to talk. Okay. Okay, we're coming to our last few questions. Let's get Barbara Money in there. For Barbara, what does the universe want me to know? Go ahead and put her name, Barbara, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Temperance. Barbara, the universe wants you to know that ain't nothing perfect, but you can create in your life the perfect blend. You have been working, and Tammy, people are reading for you. So even if I haven't read for you, if you have asked a question, read through. People are moving more quickly than I am, which is really great. So even if I haven't gotten to you, there is probably a reading for you somewhere in the thread. So look for it if you've asked a question. So Barbara, you got to be patient, but you are coming to your place of healing. You are coming to your place of balance. Good things are coming. Just be patient and let it happen. Okay. Okay, we're going to do Nancy. And let's see. So Nancy Perez. If you'd like to read for Nancy, go ahead and put her name, Nancy, the name of the card you've got, and your interpretation. And again, there may be some others here. A significant other went to detox this week. Will he have success in his sobriety? 6 of Cups reversed. He has a lot of healing he needs to do. He may relapse. He may have already relapsed. And until he gets a handle on his past and the issues from his past, it's going to be difficult. You can pray for him. You can hope for him. But we got problems here. Okay. Okay, we're going to do... Okay. We are going to do, let's see, it's already 7:36. I am going to get to Tammy because Tammy had asked before but didn't ask a question. And so if I didn't get to you, I am sorry, but take a look in the thread because it may be that other people did get to you. Okay. Tammy, when am I going back to Florida? High Priestess. Not yet. Give it time. Right now, you want to shelter in place, my friend. Okay, and I'm a softie, so I'm just going to do a couple of quick other ones just because I said I wouldn't, but I'm going to. Naomi, what does my life look like over the next few months and beyond? 6 of Pentacles, you'll be okay financially. You'll be able to help other people. It's going to be good. It's going to be okay. You'll be fine financially and you'll be fine with the people around you. Okay. Uma, what does the universe want Uma to know? Justice reversed. There may be some things going on in your life that are not fair. If you have control, do something about it. If you don't, try to deal with it. And Barbara O'Brien, am I safe where I work? 6 of Wands, obviously be careful, but I think you'll be okay. All right. We are going to now shift. And if you're still doing readings, by all means, you can finish up your readings. Thank you all so much for being here. Glad you are here. I'm just scrolling down to the end. A lot of good readings going on. So, I have a few things that I want to share. And I'm interested in your comments and thoughts as well. So, as you know, we have an International Tarot Conference planned for January. We are going ahead with our plans. We believe that by then things will be safe and good. Obviously, if it's not, we will just simply reschedule it. It's called StarCon. It's going to be in Palm Beach Gardens. We are really looking forward to the time that we can gather together again. And I'd love you to go to the StarCon website. StarCon is spelled with 2 A's. It's Southeastern Tarot Artists and Readers Conference. I'd love you to go to starcon.com and check it out. Tickets are on sale. We do have early bird pricing. And we are still, we have many presenters already signed up. We're still looking for presenters, vendors, readers. It's going to be a great time. And after all of this sequestering of ourselves, we're going to be happy to be back together. Now, oh, thank you very much, Amy. Hey, Amy, good to see you. She has dropped the link. Okay, very good. Now, speaking of international tarot conferences, of course, over the past decade, probably the best known and most premier International Tarot Conferences Reader Studio produced by the Tarot School. And many of you may have heard that Wald Amberstone of Reader Studio and Tarot School was very sick with COVID-19. The last thing that we have heard is that he was doing better. So we've been doing prayer and magic for him all this time. Keep it up. So far, so good with Wald, and we're really happy about that. And I don't know if you had a chance to see it. I did post it on the Global Tarot Circle website and also in my feed and on my business page. Sasha Graham put together like an 8-minute video of messages from members of the tarot community regarding COVID-19. I was really honored to be part of that, and it's a pretty great little video. So if you haven't had a chance to see it, please do. I also want to let you know, and some of you know this, of course, I've moved all my in-person tarot stuff online. And even when we can meet together again, I'm going to keep the online stuff going because it's been fun. So our tarot meetup, Cards and Conversation, is happening on YouTube this Sunday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, on my YouTube channel. That's free. We had our first premium Zoom class last week. It went really well. For those of you who were in class, that video is going to be available for you. And for those of you who couldn't make it to the class, the video will be available for sale. I'll have more information on that. And I have scheduled a new class for April. And we also have a class for May. So those are premium classes. We're doing them on Zoom. You can come in with your face if you like, so we can all see each other. You don't have to, but you can. And so that's a lot of fun as well. Missy, nice to see you. So let's get going. Today is April Fool's Day. And when I scheduled, I thought, wouldn't it be fun to talk about the Fool? Now, of course, at that time, we didn't know exactly what circumstance the world would be in. And that's going to be the next thing I want to talk to you about. I am very interested in your thoughts on the Fool. What do you think about the Fool? Do you like the Fool? How do you interpret the Fool? Any thoughts on the Fool? Go ahead and chat them in. But I also have this larger question. You guys, we are a room full of psychics, tarot card readers. Did you see this coming? What did you see? What didn't you see? And if you're reading for other people, how is our pandemic showing up for people? What are you seeing? And what are you feeling personally? You know, and I said this earlier when reading for someone, that we're in this situation where, you know, never has the world been so unified, and we're all unified by the same threat, which is so weird. But how does that feel for you psychically? How are you handling it? Hey, Stephen, nice to see you. Steve Homeslack is here. Kimberly, blank slate. Talk to me about that. Oh, I know. We're talking about the Fool. So Kimberly sees the Fool as a blank slate. Steve sees the Fool as happiness. For me, I see the Fool as each and every one of us. I feel like the Fool is the star of the story told by tarot. The other 77 cards are the people he will meet, the things he will learn, the things he will do. And so when I see the Fool in a reading, I often say, you know, remember to be the star of your own story. Remember that life is a journey. And, you know, often that card will come up to talk about honoring the inner child, taking a leap of faith. Oh, David, I could hug you right now, except we're social distancing. I'm a playwright and screenwriter, and I see the Fool not as some clown, but as every man. I have so much connection with every man. I have to tell you a quick story. I realize I'm kind of narrowcasting to David, but I can't help it. So my mother, when I was like 10, my mother was a single mother, and she played Antigone in the Ennui, the French production in English of Everyman. The man who played one of the guards, she was handcuffed to him when she was arrested. She married him 3 months later, and he became my stepfather and ultimately my father, really. So I have always seen, I Oh, but you know what? I just put two things together because my mother was also an everyman, and everyman and Antigone are two totally different things. And I'm really sorry I just told that personal story for no real reason, except I put those things together because the next year my mother played Good Deeds in Everyman. So you just brought back all of these mom memories. So, whatever. Okay. So, yes, the fool is everyman. That is the point. That is the point. The classic Greek character who represents us all. He, she can show us how to go. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. And Kimberly said, I remember you saying you didn't see much about it coming up in people's readings. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. And what do I make of that now? Honestly, I think most of us are going to be okay. And that sounds horrible because people are dying and people will die. But the majority of people I'm reading for are going to be okay. Steve's being nice. That was a good story, even though I conflated a bunch of different things, but whatever. So I do feel like things are going to be okay, although I'll tell you another story, as well. Okay, Betty, about the fool. The fool's choice that he makes has a profound effect on his entire life. TK, the fool. Attitude to show that unpredictably is always an important factor. Uma, it's not easy to be the fool, especially if you're someone who likes control. Sometimes life circumstances make you the fool by throwing you a huge surprise. There is so much good about the space the fool is in. Inspiration. Missy, you saw me teaching during my mom's reading and mine. Now I'm teaching homeschooling to not only my son, but I'm basically the teacher's aide for his teacher, helping other parents figure out this virtual distance learning. So thank you for sharing that. So when we talk about, I didn't see this in people's readings, but I might have said, oh, I think there's going to be a canceled trip. Or in this case, I see you teaching. Or I see you spending a lot of time at home. Or even I see health issues coming up. I didn't see horror and devastation. With the financial crash of 2008, I saw a bunch of people buying houses they couldn't afford. And it was bad. This, maybe a job change, maybe spending time alone. Maybe the hermit came up for a lot of people. Steve talked about the fool's journey. Nancy, I was about to say inner child. Carol says she's starting to feel herself being negative and working hard to be positive. Brenda, you also saw me teaching online in January, and I did my first class last weekend. Right. So, it did show up, but it didn't show up as to why. And Kimberly said, oh my gosh, I was just thinking every man, but was washing my hands. Right, because we're all washing our hands constantly these days, aren't we? Joanne, sometimes when the fool comes up, it actually means the person is being a fool. Julie, yeah, I kept getting the tower over and over. It felt out of context for me personally. Was thinking of 9/11. Astrologically, it was clear something very big was coming. Surprised how global and devastating it is, but the signs were there with the fires and the death of all the animals. Jean, about the fool, open slate playfulness. David said, awesome everyman's stories, Christiana, regardless of which play you mean. Later, he was played by Jimmy Stewart in a series of movies and even later by Tom Hanks. So great. And Tom Hanks had the coronavirus. So it all comes in together. Okay, how crazy. Jill, I've felt the end of things as we know it coming for 2 years now. Re the fool, we need to open our eyes sometimes and not do the things that may be harmful to the earth and the atmosphere and others, and think there won't be consequences. She's putting it all together too. We need to stop being like those oblivious, blind to everything spring breakers. We have seen that too much, eyes closed to everything. Marion, I didn't see the pandemic as such, but in a lot of readings for other people, I've seen a lot of delays, right? In particular for a friend's house move. I knew she would sell, but thought it might be through the Mercury retrograde, but it passed okay, then it happened. Irene, I saw lots of 555 for a while before the virus. Brenda, FYI, I did stock up toilet paper 6 weeks ago. My spiritual friends and I have all felt a lot of shifting and clearing while meditating, deep clearing. I've been pulling the tower, which is related to that clearing of 10 of Wands, which I feel is people needing an outlet, finding a new way to process stress since they can't do their usual tactics. Kimberly, the Fool also feels like being home alone with my cats right now. And other times when animals make more sense than people, or the animal world makes more sense than the human world. Puck, I've been the Fool every time I make a big life change and didn't know how it would work out. Like a trapeze artist flying through the air and trusting that hands will catch her. Oh, that's beautiful. Miguelina, I see the Fool as the inner child, faith in the divine and the self, etc., but also sometimes a bit tricksterish. But I know that is traditionally the mage. Any thoughts on that? I could see it. I'm okay with that. Dawn, I don't read much for others, but the few I've done, including my own, lots of Hangman Tower and the Temperance. Irene, Fool can be as collective, moving on next level more intuitively. Nice. David likes the trickster. Betty, I see the Fool as Peter Pan also. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. So, and here's another thing. David, please keep trying to influence the influenza by healing modalities or tarot magic. The chart has shown a very slight hesitation. We can make a difference. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Nicola, since the energy shift at New Year's, I've had a sense of emptiness relating to being clear, letting go. The Fool lets go and take a leap of faith into the unknown. So I'll say a couple of things. I mean, we New Agers often talk about the planetary shift, and this feels like part of it, doesn't it? Now, I'll also say something else. Beyond reading the cards, we're all kind of psychic, and I do get feelings about things. When Barack Obama was elected president, I knew that the president after him, and I knew he would be elected, I knew the president after him would be as opposite Obama as possible. And when Trump ran, I knew it would be Trump. I knew that Trump would be impeached in his third year and it would have to do with foreign interference. And I knew that he would not be convicted. And I could not ever see anything past that. And I told a couple of people that, usually I can see a little ways far, for the world, for the country, whatever. And I haven't been able to see anything. It was just a dark hole. And I told a few friends that, and like, that's kind of scary. So here comes COVID-19. I think that's my dark hole. So I'll let you know when the smoke clears and I can see what comes after that, because I'm still in the dark hole. I can't quite see it. And no predictions about the coming election. I can't see it. Now I can sit down and do a reading for you, and I'm open for business, as you can see. And I am still doing a lot of readings. I am available to read for you. There's my shameless self-promotion. And, here's the thing. How am I seeing COVID-19 in people's readings? Probably the same way I did beforehand, and I only know to make it be about that because now I know what it is. Where some people are more anxious, some people have shifts having to do with their job. Some people seem to be more at risk. And everyone is feeling sort of the psychic weight of all of this. So I'm seeing it showing up in readings now. But, the vast majority of us will survive it. Joanne said, I told you we were having breakfast together that Trump would win and nothing would ever be the same. I remember. David, the symptoms of the end of days are present. Major change coming. We can make that change matter. Don't give up. Puck, I agree with you about not being able to see far ahead. It's like fog. Nothing to grab a hold to. Too many ways that things could go. And that goes back to what David said. Let's do magic. Now, a little while ago, we did a tarot healing ceremony here on Facebook. A bunch of you were there. Is it time to do another one? Should we get together and do another tarot healing for all of this? Let me know. Marion says, even though I'm not an American, I think most of the world misses Obama. Okay. So, in terms of reading about health, I know that many people find that, we're not doctors, we can't make diagnoses. But, now, in all the readings I'm doing, that's a question. Am I going to catch the coronavirus? Is that going to happen? What's going to happen? And I think that's really something to think about. And how that shows up. And for me, the Seven of Swords is often a card that speaks of health issues where you can't see them coming, and there they are. And so if I see the Seven of Swords come up for someone, I'm like, you need to be more careful. So there's that. Betty says we need more healing. Megalina, Cheryl, should we do it as part of Cards and Conversation on Sunday? Should we have we're together for an hour and a half. Should we have part of that be tarot healing magic for the world? Should we do that? Let me know if you want to do it as part of Cards and Conversation on YouTube Live on Sunday. Kimberly, with the Hermit as my life path card, I've been feeling like some people are actually living their lives a little like I did already. I'm not quite sure what was meant there. Then I saw an article going around that all Gen Xers were preparing for this as latchkey kids. Got it. Joanne says the more we do, the better chance we have to survive. Magic circles, that is. Carol, definitely need healing. Patricia, good point. One good thing, ozone layer healing and air pollution smog is down, air clearing. Julie, healing the self is healing the all right now in a huge way. Brenda says, yes, on Sunday. Yes. We're doing it on Sunday. Please be there. Okay, very good. Do any of you have any particular cards that come up as regards to healing or sickness? We meet at 4:00 Eastern Time on Sunday on my YouTube channel. And we'll do our normal Cards and Conversation stuff. We're together for an hour and a half. It's free. It's fun. Be there. And we're in our last, okay, so everyone's in for that. Good. We are in our last few minutes together. Thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate having you here. And I actually said this in Sasha's video. You guys have been the thing that's really getting me through this, is our ability to meet together, to share with each other, to be there for each other. If we did not have this worldwide community, I would be a lot more bummed than I am. I got to tell you. So thank you guys so much for being here for me, for being here for each other, for being part of our global tarot circle. Now more than ever, this is an important thing for us. So I'll hope to see you Sunday on YouTube. Now is the time for shameless self-promotion. And Nicola answered the question. Cards for health stuff. The Tower, Four of Swords. Yes. Both came up a lot when my mom had cancer. I totally hear that. Yes. Megalina, about the environment healing. My one cousin in California says she's seeing the stars for the first time in a long time. Okay. Very good. David, people are a social creature like bees, etc. We'll always find a way to love. That's beautiful. Hey, you guys, if you have any shameless self-promotion, if you want to drop your website, your Facebook page, anything at all, let's support each other during these difficult times. Go ahead and drop a link. My shameless self-promotion. Check out StarCon. Nine of Wands for health. Sure, the Wounded Warrior. Absolutely. Kimberly's got her nature water meditations on Instagram. Very cool stuff. And remember, I am available for readings by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, Duo, WhatsApp, Zoom. And I'm also available for mentoring. Wherever you are on your tarot journey, I can help you get to the next level. I want to thank you guys so much. We are extending our our arms all across the world, holding each other tight. Stay safe, wash your hands, stay indoors. Let's get through this thing. Let's get through this thing as quickly as possible. Okay. And Miguelina was thinking about the Nine of Swords, right? Got it. Okay. Look forward to seeing you all 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so do the translation, and that's on my YouTube channel called Christiana Gaudet. I am not inventive with titles. Okay, you know what, Jill? Before the next class, just Google on that, how to get gallery view on Zoom in a webinar. Remember, it's a webinar, not a meeting. And find it for the next one. Okay, love you guys. Thank you all so much for being here. Look forward to seeing you soon. And check out my upcoming classes. They're on my events on my webpage, Christiana Gaudet. They're also in the events on my Facebook webpage, Christiana Gaudet. So look at the events. And if you haven't hit like, please do. Look forward to seeing you. Lots of good stuff going on here. Brenda Nicholas, Go Yogini, that's Uma Elizabeth. Marion, regarding the Zoom, says search in YouTube for a how-to video. Okay, you guys, thanks so much. See you all soon. Be good.